Previously on SNEW With The Crew, not so long ago in a very not so far away house, 2 weeks had passed. Much news was consumed, but technical difficulties meant a hilarious and full show didn't record. We found out that Stephen King and Ridley Scott are in competition to be involved, right, or have more properties on TV and film than each other, that Disney almost own everything. Ross laughed at one of Chris's dad jokes. Paul hadn't watched anything. Adam got very angry at all the news, and I Am Groot and I Am Groot reviewed Guardians of the Galaxy 2 while I Am Groot and Ross zoned out. So now they are back. Technology fixed, but probably missing the chemistry of last week's missing show. So here is your host, Chris.
I don't usually name myself.
That's why we had that intro, I think.
Really, just to
make you have to have your name said at the beginning.
Righto. Hello. I'm not going to say good evening, but I kind of have done in saying that. Welcome to SNEW With The Crew, episode 13. And I've worked out why last week's episode didn't record. Technically, it was the 13th episode we've ever recorded.
Doesn't matter. Science says it doesn't matter.
Does it?
13th doesn't mean anything. It's arbitrary.
Or is it?
So, yes, on this week's show we have Mr. Adam Gattrell.
Hello.
Mr. Ross Murphy.
Hello.
And me, yes, me. You know who I am.
Do we?
You do now, because you just ruined my thing, man.
Anyway.
Anyway.
You still didn't fully introduce yourself.
No, it's true.
So what's going on in the news?
What we're going to do, we're going to stick in some headlines of stuff that we missed last week because of the bloody lost show.
Yeah, chucking a couple, I reckon, but major ones. Like major ones, yeah.
Should we do them in sort of chronological order then?
Yeah.
Have we not got anything to do this week then?
Got loads, yeah.
You'd make a good like deck officer on a like an old Roman fucking slave barge. Quick, we're doing more news. You will do more news. Because we didn't have any news last week.
It means you've got half the time to do twice as much this week. Now get on with it.
Let's go.
Right, stuff from last week that was probably worthy of speaking about. There's a remake of Firestarter going, just because
Twisted Firestarter.
fucking every bloody Stephen King property is going to be bloody remade, isn't it? Oh, and there's
every single one.
Absolutely, and he just seems to be. We seem to be reporting about one a week at the moment, which is good for us because we've got stuff to talk about. Speaking of which, though, Stephen King's It got a new TV spot this week. Which I know is sat there.
What does TV spot mean? I get confused. Isn't it
just
no,
it's not a TV spot. Sorry,
trailer?
It's not. It's a clip.
Okay, that's all right then.
I've not watched it yet.
I haven't.
Do you want to watch it?
Go on then.
Should we do it now?
Yeah.
Do we have time for this shit? Not really, but
let's do it.
Is that an advert?
Yeah.
And it's a 30-second advert as well, right? Fuck you. Right, fuck you, Stephen King. We're not watching your trailer. Sorry.
If you got 30-second adverts on your trailer, then no.
It's not his fault, really. It's the stupid website. But hey, you can find a link to that below. Right, Spider-Man Homecoming. That's got a new clip as well.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips from that. I'm not sure which ones came out in which order, but I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far.
You had a teaser, and then you had a
trailer
that just gave away the whole movie.
Did it give away the whole movie?
I think it does, yeah.
To me, that didn't really give away the whole movie. It kind of gave me... Well, I suppose I've read comics, so it gave me 3 or 4 storylines that I thought they might try and put together.
So, premise from that trailer then is Michael Keaton, who's playing the Vulture.
Yep.
He works for what they called...
Damage Control.
Damage Control. So they're
which
going
is
around
basically the Marvel version of that DC show that got cancelled. Powerless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damage Control is its own comic anyway, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
But anyway, so...
That's a really shit name for a comic and a company.
What, Damage Control?
Yeah.
They're the guys that clean up after the superheroes in New York. It's quite a good comic.
In context, it's probably a little bit better, but it does sound like a bit of a shit sort of 90s energy drink. Down, leaders of Damage Control, and then go out on your skateboard, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so Damage Control, they lose the contract, so they're not cleaning up after superheroes anymore.
Yeah.
And then they think, right, motherfuckers, we teach you superheroes a lesson, you Tony Stark motherfuckers, you don't care, you're leaving us with no money, so we're going to use the tech and stuff that we've found while we're doing cleanup work to start robbing banks, and Spider-Man's going to try and stop him, but in doing so, he's going to cause a big bloody disaster on a ferry that gets ripped in half, and then...
Is that in... Yeah, but this is... You're going by the trailer, the what they're showing you in the trailer in order.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I reckon
That
it's all in
could
pretty
be-
much chronological order. I
You
think
reckon?
I reckon they've. Yeah, I
possible.
don't think they've left us with much to look forward to.
There is a
at the cinema.
lot more given away in the trailer for that than any of the Marvel Studios films. Like, but then is it Fox doing it or
We know that the kid that
Sony.
becomes
Sony.
Hobgoblin as well finds out that he's Spider-Man.
yeah?
So, all this stuff, in
But
my
then-
opinion, is too much.
But then most of it's been in the other Spider-Man films already, other than the Michael Keaton stuff. Like the Hobgoblin. and
We're
all
talking about the
that, but-
entire plot of the film, though.
Yeah. It's
Just depresses me.
Spider-Man. We've all seen it before 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. I don't know how many movies they've done.
At least they're not actually handing out 40 minutes of footage
Exactly.
before they release it,
Like
which
they did
is
with
what they did.
Wolverine Origins.
And Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Dickheads.
What else have we got going on?
A Transformers clip.
Not this week, mate.
Wonder Woman's final trailer.
Don't need to watch it.
I
I'm
need
sorry,
to watch
I'm
it.
well on for this film.
Yeah, I'm
Good.
actually quite... It's the only DC film that's got me excited.
Good.
It looks like it could be a nice mix of Captain America and Thor in style, but actually doing a DC character justice. I just hope that it does.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cross
but
fingers.
I suppose do I care about doing things justice? Yes, I'd like DC to have a successful bloody line of movies, but
I
at
want
the
it
same
to do
time,
it justice in the sense that it's good.
just a decent movie.
Yeah,
That's all we want.
yeah, that's all I want. I want a decent movie with that character in.
Because I'm gonna go and see it at the cinema. I think it's a summertime movie, so you might not. I don't know, but because it's you, and you complain about these things.
No.
But-
So I go to the cinema in the summer. It just depends what the film is.
But
That's one that I will possibly make the effort.
It's
DC
nothing-
haven't kind of given me much to believe in, but this one's got me excited again.
There's nothing worse than spending money, like 7 or 8 quid of your money. If you get let down by the movie that you're seeing, Transformers 2, you motherfucker, you owe me so much.
You went back after the first one.
Oh, I didn't see the first one. That was my mistake.
Right,
See.
okay.
I went with Paul Brown, and I thought he was going to cry. It was so bad. Oh, fucking hell, every week, let's bash Michael Bay's Transformers movie. Get over them. Right.
Let's move on. M. Night Shyamalan, his sequel to Split has been confirmed.
Oh, it has?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's got a release date as well, which is January 18th, 2019.
Can't say I'm excited or surprised.
Is it going to be called Glass?
It
Did they
is.
say?
Yes, correct.
It's going to be called what? Glass?
Glass.
Yeah,
Really?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 5.
4.
5.
4.
5.
4.
5.
Learn to count.
It's been pushed back to 10th of July 2020. So possible Ridley Scott and Neil Blomkamp kind of situation with the young Indiana Jones movie that's been planned as well. That's been put on the back burner and may well be cancelled
Good.
indefinitely.
Good.
Oh.
Neil Blomkamp's Alien movie has actually been cancelled.
Oh, it has.
It
Oh,
has.
fuck off.
And Alien Covenant isn't getting great reviews.
Ridley Scott, I'm beginning to get annoyed with you now.
Yeah,
Yes.
same here.
So, yeah, unfortunately that's come out this week.
If someone can make something as good as District 9, something as entertaining as Elysium, and then like something as clever as Chappie that's fun, then they can easily make a decent Alien film.
All of his movies have got mixed reviews, haven't they? But
yeah, but they're all good.
But people have got a little bit of, a couple of brain cells to rub together, tend to like them.
yeah,
You know,
because he's saying something.
I like how you found something positive to say about each one of those films then.
I do like stuff. It's
Very
just we very rarely talk about the things I like. We're normally talking about the things everyone else likes that don't really bother me, like Indiana
who
Jones.
the fuck is wearing Adam's body?
who's this guy that looks like a hipster that isn't Adam?
It's
Anyway,
the hat. It's got my brain cells tightened.
Kingsman 2. Did you see the trailer?
Yes.
What do you think?
I don't understand.
Mi comprende?
I watched the first one. I own the comics. There are characters in the second one who are dead in the end of the first one.
Yes.
So I don't understand.
I suppose one obvious one.
Well, yeah.
What, King George V?
No, the other one. Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, it's King George V.
Oh, is he?
isn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course he
Yeah.
is. Sorry, King's Speech.
Yeah.
Missed the reference there, mate.
Yeah, basically, I
The one he won an Oscar for, and you're thinking of the one where he took his shirt off.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. The way the comic ended and the way the first film ended, I don't understand how there's going to be a second comic series and a second film that involves characters that are dead from the first. Like, obviously, it is comic books.
And they seemed as surprised to see him as you are.
That's true.
So they don't know either.
No. So it'd be interesting. I didn't go to the cinema for Kingsman, although I own all the individual comics when they came out. But I'll give it the second one.
I
I don't
think
I'll go to the cinema, but
I think I will go to the cinema for it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I would.
There's some pretty crass jokes in the
Yeah,
in the first one.
this is true. He's an out-and-out chav, isn't he? All without
I just-
any
Gonna just
redemption.
come in here and bang you in the arse, aren't I?
Well, she
Even that was not chavvy enough.
yeah, she offers though. That's the crazy thing about that scene. Like, I don't know how or why they chose to do that as the last, like one of the last scenes, but there you go. Shock tactics, maybe.
Shocktacular. Anyway,
That was awful.
He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Has it
Talking
been
of-
announced?
It's been given a date, hasn't it?
Ooh, what's
It's
the
got a
date,
release
Chris?
date of December 18th, 2019, so it's not really that far away.
How the fuck are they going to manage to make an entire film and everything in that time?
2 years.
Yeah, that's a
2.5
very
years.
short time to get it done.
Wow. David Ayer was only given 6 weeks to write bloody Suicide Squad, wasn't he?
I suppose they may have been working on it for a while.
They probably
but
got a Korean beaver working on it in the background there somewhere.
a Korean beaver.
Thanks, I just had it stuffed. Ba-boom.
I've got no idea where I was going with that.
Do you want some breaking news?
Go on then.
Do you want to know that the Blade Runner trailers dropped?
Ooh, yes we do. Good
That was
stuff.
there was a pre-dropping of the trailer yesterday, wasn't there?
I see. We'll have to have a quick look at that. I was going to talk about posters because I know how much you love me talking about posters because they had some really lovely posters released yesterday.
I must admit, the Blade Runner posters are some beautiful artwork in themselves. It must be said.
Okay, that looks cool.
It's a very, very pretty film, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Are we becoming one of those podcasts though that just sits and watches trailers and?
No, we're not going to become one of those podcasts because that's going to get cut out.
Cool.
So we're not just going to leave that on in the background as a muffled bit of audio. that people... Anyway, so yeah, that looks great. I noticed an Atari symbol in there.
Yeah.
And somebody else is making replicants.
Yeah.
So they could all be fucking replicants. I had a little theory about this while I was walking around earlier today, and I thought, what if it turns out that Decker was right? Maybe he is a replicant. And what about if everybody's a fucking replicant?
Well, the
And,
human race has already died out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the humans are just in those little pods underneath the ground in the Matrix.
Or in their little pods at home, controlling the replicants, like in that other film.
Like avataring them.
Yeah, but what's the film with
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's
I
called.
can't remember. I'm just thinking in my head, I'm just like a combination of how the humans are in Wall-E and that fat vampire in Blade, first Blade.
I think me like somebody to go out and do my groceries.
Oh dear. Right, I know. It's called Surrogates. I'll edit that in tomorrow.
Cool.
For those of
It's
you
a
at
crap-
home, I
Have
really
you
did
seen
do that.
I'll edit that in tomorrow.
I haven't seen. I'll edit that in tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's full of dad jokes.
Anywho, Blade Runner trailer, we'll link that below. It looks very, very fancy, very schmancy.
It's kind of still in keeping with the old one, but kind of still got its own sort of fun, modern, artistic style to
Oh
it.
yeah, it looks like a Kubrick movie in places.
It looks
It's
very-
absolutely stunning.
Okay, so it looks quite crisp, doesn't it? I think if I were going to if I were in a position to, at all, make any suggestions, people that are making sequels to movies that are like absolutely loved by everyone, is that maybe, as far as your camera work is concerned, you could make them in keeping as well. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Like
that
maybe
now-
it doesn't need to be as crisp, but then like Tron to the modern Tron,
No, that's very different.
like it's very different. The computer world is different, so it makes sense that the style and the way it's filmed is different. Blade Runner, it's set years later, so it could make sense that it would look crisper.
then
and
Force Awakens, they deliberately shot on film,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
when they could have quite easily not shot on film,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
graded it afterwards.
yeah, true.
but it did it justice by doing that. It was quite a nice looking film.
Mark Kermode was saying on his podcast that even now, he was talking about the black and chrome edition of like, no,
Mad
it
Max?
wasn't even the podcast. There's a 4-minute clip on YouTube. Check it out. And I can't remember what film he was talking about, but he was like, they were talking about colorizing and or making black and white. And he's like, one movie was shot really modernly on like 4K cameras because that's just the norm. And then it was decolorized and film grain was added to make it look like it was, because that was the choice to make.
It's really quick and easy to do it now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's easier. That's the point. Movie studios don't buy equipment. You rent it in. And if you've got companies producing new kit, it's easier to lease that kit new, like the Arias and the Reds,
Right.
the types of cameras they use. It's cheaper than going around and trying to find old cameras, old lenses and film.
It's very true.
Yeah, true.
So Spielberg said he bought, about the time of the prequel trilogy, he was saying that he just bought enough of the film that he likes to use, and he's just like, I'm just going to bury it in the desert until I
Like
need it.
like they did with the ET game.
Yeah, it's buried next to the ET video games.
Who's the? I don't know why I can't think of his name, but who's the guy that basically invented Apple product as we know it these days?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. Have you seen the movie?
What
Which
job?
one?
The good, the better one, the Aaron Sorkin one.
Oh, no,
Michael
the-
Fassbender one.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
the really shit. Who's married to Demi? Ashton Kutcher one.
Who did it? Sorry.
There's a really shit
Kutcher
Ashton
was in
Kutcher one.
Oh, was there?
While he was still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you seen the most recent one?
Yeah.
Don't know. I've got no interest in watching a film about Steve Jobs.
I mean, it's worth watching just for the way that it's filmed. Like the 3 acts are set a decade apart,
Right.
and each act is filmed on different media. So
okay.
the first one is sort of set in the 70s, and it's filmed on like Super 8 type film, and then the next one is shot on what's that, 16mm? Was it?
Yeah, 16mm.
That they had in the 80s, and then the third act is shot on digital. So you can really
Interesting.
see a massive difference between the 3 acts, and it just makes it look glorious, I think. It really adds something to the movie.
Yeah, when they could have. That's just an artistic choice at this point, because they could do that in post now, can't they?
Yeah, true.
They could have
But-
at least done that about something and someone interesting, though.
Mate, it's really good.
Is
It's
it?
got great script.
Yeah, but is
and
it
it's,
really that interesting?
No, it's really well done. Yeah, the screenplay is genius.
Okay.
Have you
And-
seen?
I might have to give it a go then. What I know about the man, I don't particularly like him as
No,
a
but that's
human
great.
being.
He's fucking awful, but he's brilliant. Like, he's just. You just cannot not watch him, because there's a genius and a really horrible man just wrapped up in the same body.
Did you see The Social Network?
No.
Jesus, right, watch that as well.
It's
Really?
Written
Yeah.
by the same guy.
It's very good.
The guy who wrote loads of The West Wing.
But what is good about it? Why do you guys say it's a good film? Why do other people say it's a good film?
It doesn't matter what you think of the people that the film portrays. It is a brilliant snapshot of what is actually history, and it's very, very well put together, well acted, and one of them's got Justin Timberlake in, so you can't go wrong.
I'll think about giving them a go.
Yeah, do it.
No,
do both.
Because
He
for
won't,
me,
he
like
won't like him.
when it comes to like history stuff, I'd rather watch a film about World War II or feudal Japan or something like that over how Facebook got created and how everyone fucked each other over to.
What
make
about
money.
how they first franchised the Ghostbusters in New York City in the 80s? That's
A film
And-
about that.
an interesting part of history that you're really into, isn't it?
I don't think I'd want to watch a documentary about how they made Ghostbusters.
Oh, it's your birthday coming up, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I know that because the Ghostbusters release date is coming up.
Yeah.
Right, Dark Tower got a trailer, which we looked at last week and discussed, but
Yeah.
I quite like the look of it. And Todd McFarlane has...
All of the chains.
All
It's got
of them.
all of the chains. There's
Todd-
none left for anyone
Yes,
else.
yeah, he's taken all the chains and used them to write a script for the Spawn movie.
The clown in Spawn's horrible.
He is.
We talked about it before.
Yeah, it was last week.
Violator.
Is that what his name is? Violator.
Yeah, he's like a demon, didn't he? But
Yeah, some sort of demon of some sort. I
But
can't remember
he
now.
can change, like the toy. There's 2 of them.
Anyway, yeah, Todd McFarlane has completed a Spawn movie script, so yeah, who knows what's going to happen. American Gods. Did you guys see
I
American
haven't
Gods?
seen any yet.
Haven't seen it yet.
Gotta go and
We're
watch
2
it.
episodes in now.
It's actually the second episode was last night,
Is
so I'm
it
going to watch
good?
it this evening. I really bloody enjoyed it, but I'm going to say this about it. It doesn't take you by the hand and lead you to the information. You have to do a little bit of kind of homework, or listen to my little mini podcast that I'm going to do about it every
When
week.
you say it doesn't lead you by the hand, are you meaning as in it's not like...
Yeah, it doesn't patronise you in any way.
So
I'm
if you
just going by
haven't-
the first episode,
If
actually.
you haven't read
but
American Gods, will you still get it?
It's handled at the moment. It's being handled in very much the same way as the book, because the book does exactly the same thing.
Right, because I've read the book, so...
Right. So
Okay, so if it follows the same sort of story plot line handling as the book, then I think most people will get it, won't they?
do you remember the Coming to America bits
Yeah.
in it? So that's in there. That's complete. Maybe they're going to do one of those every week. Maybe not. But the gods as they're appearing, it's not like there's any background on them. It doesn't tell you who they are or anything.
Right, okay.
Exactly the same as the books.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that kind
The
of makes
book.
sense. Otherwise, it ruins the story further down the line.
Although the book doesn't tell you further down the line either.
Well, not every single one. Like, certain bits are kind of a little bit more obvious, and then others are completely out there. But
Yeah.
it'd be interesting, to see how they handle it as a TV show.
Just so you know, the super duper, like the 10th anniversary edition, so the longer one that they
Yep.
brought out, the audiobook's on YouTube. Obviously, it's not
Is
supposed to be on YouTube, but it's on
Ah.
there, and it's full. It's a full cast. It's the full cast.
Yeah, I
one,
mentioned it on my little
unabridged,
podcast.
and it's the one where Neil Gaiman introduces it and stuff.
Right, okay.
Oh, wicked.
So it's 20-hour jobby.
18, I think, but semantics. So I started listening to it the other day while I was painting.
Talking of audiobooks, there's the guy from Escapist magazine, Ben Yatzy, who does Zero Punctuation. I came across on Audible that he's got a couple of books out, and as he does the voice over for his computer game reviews for his Zero Punctuation, they're very funny. He's done the voice work for his own audiobook. And he does a few different character voices and accents and stuff. One of them is set within a fantasy world, and the one I downloaded and listened to is a sci-fi story called "We Will Save the Galaxy for Food." And it's almost like he has embodied the spirit of Douglas Adams in creating something that is a natural successor to that style of story. There's not many other people I can think of that really capture that fun essence of Douglas Adams, and this guy has.
I would say that the early Red Dwarf books get pretty close.
Yeah. This I'd say this is closer.
I don't know if I like the Red Dwarf writer. He's not quite as clever as...
Two of them.
Oh, there are two of
It's
them.
Grant
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Nolan.
Oh yeah, so it is. So I still don't think it's as clever, the humour, as
No,
Douglas
no.
Adams on his own.
No, but try Ben Yatzy's, or I can't remember what he calls himself as the book writer, but it's We Will Save the Galaxy for Food.
Cool. American Gods though, definitely go and watch it. It's looking very, very good.
try.
And I'm hoping it's going to stay very good. I also watched Handmaid's Tale as well, the first 3 episodes of that. Do you remember me telling you about it,
I do.
Ross?
No,
So dystopian future, actually.
Women are used to breed for
Rich people
the
that
richer
can't have
people.
babies, yeah.
Yeah. So the woman has to sit in between the legs of the rich woman, and the bloke has to impregnate her, and then they are kept around until
all
the
quite
baby's
ghastly.
born. It's
It's
very
dark.
horrible.
Really dark. But
that sounds like it's definitely happening in some parts of this world already.
Probably.
yeah. So yeah, I just saw the first 3 episodes. That's bloody good as well. But it's not. I mean, my other half's pregnant, and well, we were gonna turn it off during episode 2, and
But instead, Chris made us sit there and watch
I
it.
did. I said
He
no.
just clockworked Orango,
no.
eyes open, and was like, you just sit and watch this. Don't care if you're having a baby.
Stop being so sensitive and watch it. So yeah, we did that, and we got through, and we're still together.
So it didn't break the relationship then. Episode 2 of that.
Well, we'll see what happens in episode 4, which won't be out for a little while. It's on Hulu, and they're being dropped in 3s. I'm not sure of the frequency, but they're certainly not all being dropped at once like Netflix stuff, but they're available to download and stream. Edge of Tomorrow 2 has got a title revealed. Ross, you're going to love this.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Live, die, repeat.
It is. Live, die, repeat, and repeat. Oh.
The only good thing I can say about that is I enjoyed watching Tom Cruise get killed
That
over
film's
and over
fantastic.
again.
It's fucking brilliant.
It's
Emily
not.
Blunt's so good in it as well.
It's not fantastic.
She's on board. She's confirmed.
It's not fantastic.
It's great. I watch it
it's
again in a heartbeat.
It's probably one of the shittest time travel films ever, but you get to see pretty cool futuristic robots and Tom Cruise die over and over again, which makes up for the fact that it's a very lame time travel story.
Is it comparable to anything else?
Yeah, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And Saving Private Ryan.
It's based on a book, though, isn't it?
No idea.
It is.
Yeah, it's a manga, isn't it? I thought.
Is it a manga?
It's either a book or a manga or a Japanese book about with words and not pictures. That's not called a manga, it's called a book.
Right, either way. Ben Affleck has reportedly started training for the Batman.
So he hasn't pulled out then?
No.
Okay.
It's a bit late, isn't it, to start training if you're going to be up against, what's his face, Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, who's been training with a katana for, 4 months already?
Mate, if he gets shot with a time bullet, no amount of training is going to help him. He's going to get shot back to prehistoric times.
To be honest, though, is he training as in Ben Affleck wants to look overly buffed up so his suit doesn't fit well, or actually training as in weapon work?
It's supposed to be a 60-year-old Batman. Let's hope not. But Josh Gad, do you know who Josh Gad is?
I know the name. I'm trying to think what he's in.
He was in the most recent Beauty and the Beast. He's
Not seen that.
I hate to say it, but Tubby-esque sort of guy with dark curly hair. Wears glasses a lot. He does a lot of voiceover stuff, so you might not.
Right.
I'm sure you would recognise his face. But he's been cast as the Penguin.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite interesting.
That'd be better than the guy from the TV series of Gotham, then.
I started playing the Telltale. You know Telltale?
Yeah.
The guys who do the interactive comic games, because they're not games.
They did Monkey Island, the modern one.
New. Oh yeah, they did do the modern Monkey Island. That's probably
yeah.
the most game-like game they've ever made.
Yeah.
They did a Batman game, and I've started playing it, and it's really boring. But everyone keeps saying it's really good. Keep at it. He's mates with Penguin, apparently.
Who is?
Batman.
Mates with the Penguin.
Bruce Wayne is mates with
what in this game?
Cobblepot. Yeah.
Weird.
They grew up together, but both their parents died, and he ended up poor, and he ended up rich. And
there are some other storylines like that. There are some storylines in slightly alternate realities.
People get hung up on this stuff, though, don't they? They go, "Oh, it's not the main canon," because like there is one. You know, there's been all sorts of shit going on.
Yeah,
just
Selena
let it go.
Selena Kyle finds out he's Batman straight away in this as well, because they fight and they both got matching wounds, like in the Batman Returns.
Oh, they're going out.
They literally. There's one of the like dialogue choices. It's just like, yeah, I'm basically Batman. She's like, yeah, I know you are, you knobhead. And she's going out with Harvey Dent. I fucking hate all this weirdness.
I don't like the Telltale games. The only one that my mate had the Back to the Future one, and it was just so convolutedly like over the top of how much you had to do and how much extra storyline they added in, that I can't imagine them trying to do a Batman one without it being full of like, well, we better do this because no one's seen that before. We better do that because no one's seen that before.
There's a game there. The new ones, you literally, I just put the phone. Sometimes I put it on and I do something else and just let the game play out, because one of the dialogue choices is not to press any button and you'll just say nothing. And so the only time the game will break is if the only time you'll die is if a quick time event comes up where you're in danger of like losing it. But like,
so you could just leave the game running and it will just
and you'll just get a platinum trophy for it pretty much. You can't leave the game running, but you have to.
Yeah.
But you can half play it. Like,
so is it massively dialogue based then in this game?
Yeah,
they all are.
It's like the old Monkey Island games. You got like point and clickness, but then you've got choices with your dialogue.
To be honest, though, Chris, I keep meaning to do it. Me and you should stream it, and because you'll probably just go, I want more games like this. This is brilliant.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, because it's just like playing a comic book, and you've never played one before.
Fair dinks. Right, we better move on. Marvel's Inhumans. They had a little teaser, like audio clip. Everybody else is talking about it, so we might as well just chuck it in here quick.
I think what I saw of their outfits and characters, and the fact they've got what's his name from Misfits playing one of the characters, and he's the main voice.
I love that. What's his name from Misfits?
Yeah, makes me really happy.
Do you know what's his name from Misfits is, Ross?
No.
He's
matey with the tattoos from
Psychopath in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Simon from Misfits. What's his name in Game of Thrones?
Bolton.
Little shitbag.
I don't know. I don't watch it. I know that character. I saw the episodes. I saw the episode where he cut someone's knob off, and I saw the episode where he let the guy escape, and then went, "Ha! We didn't really let you escape." That's it. That's all I really know about his character.
He's in John Wick, isn't he?
Is he?
The mate who gets his knob chopped off.
Oh yeah, he plays the
He
Russian
is, yeah.
son. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dick
terrible.
in that, isn't he?
His acting's awful.
Yeah.
Ramsay Bolton, that's what his name is.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Google. So back to Inhumans for a second.
Yeah, I think Inhumans looks great. I think
It's getting some flack from people
yeah, but I don't know why.
because Medusa doesn't have like Medusa-y type hair.
She does. She's got loads of massively long red hair. She stood still. There's only been a photo. Like
Does she have snakes?
no, she just has long red hair that can do shit.
So people are being
dicks for the hell of
outlandishly about it.
I guarantee it's people that don't really like the Inhumans, have never read the Inhumans, and have only ever seen them in crossovers.
Right.
So they're making up massive anger
I'm
just
sorry,
for the sake of being angry.
Are you surprised that comic book fans are being dicks on the internet?
No.
Stop being dicks, a lot of you pedants.
Just enjoy what there is. Like, to be honest, like with Runaways coming, with the possibility of Fox doing New Mutants, and then you've also got
Which is happening.
the New Warriors happening
Yeah.
as well, which is a bit weird, Squirrel Girls in it, but never mind. And then you've got Punisher coming and the Defenders and all the other stuff. I'm always
Runaways,
happy. Yeah, Runaways.
which we saw a little sneak peek for last week, which
Yeah.
I notice is still up online. Actually, we'll leave a little
yeah,
link to
chuck a
that
link
below.
up to that. Yeah.
And
I'm just excited about the fact that some of my favourite comics, which were always the sort of lesser known characters, are finally being given the chance to have a show and so. And I just hope they do well with it.
I noticed with the Runaways sneak peek and the Inhumans character cast
Yeah.
photo, no kind of weird animals,
No.
no raptors,
No pugs.
no teleporting giant pugs.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But then I think that stuff will come when they feel confident. I don't think they'll chuck those things in the first episodes. I think they'll build up to that stuff so the audience like the characters enough that when they chuck something quite insane like a pet velociraptor or a giant pug that can teleport into the storyline, it actually makes sense.
you don't want to play those cards too early, do you?
No.
Velociraptor, giant teleporting pug. Sneaky Big Bang Theory reference before Ross notices.
Actually, those dinosaurs haven't got feathers. Stop being pedantic, you bellends. If you're about to write a tweet about a fictional character and the start of the tweet begins with actually, stop right there. Think about, are you going to be a pedantic little knobhead? If you are, don't write the tweet.
Also,
I'm going to respect somebody's art they're making.
if you're going to be one of those people that gets really angry about dinosaurs not having feathers in films, watch Jurassic World and listen to what the scientist says. His little speech in the middle of the film is worth watching that whole film for, because his little speech explains everything about all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park and any dinosaurs you could fit into a modern film where someone's built one using dinosaur DNA mixed with other DNA.
Who was that? Sorry, which character?
The scientist that was in the original Jurassic Park, who's in Jurassic World. When
Oh yeah, his name's Dr. Wu. Dr. Wu. Oh yeah, that's something we're missing from last week because we lost an episode. Jeff Goldblum is in the next Jurassic World movie.
Also, get out your mum's basement, stop wanking over old JPEGs of Captain Janeway.
Hang on, Ross is still attacking pedantic nerds.
Go outside and talk to a real person.
Anyway, Ross, the nerd's choice is surely 1 of 9.
1 of 9.
7 of 9.
7 of 9.
1 of 9.
Sorry.
I'm so
didn't
nerdy,
really.
I found that
1 of
funny.
9.
That's as far into it as they can get.
Meanwhile, Chris is down in the basement wanking over 1 of 9.
1 of 9 what?
1 of 9
I
lives.
think it would have been Dr. Crusher, actually, thanks.
Oh my god.
Really? She gave birth to Wesley Crusher.
Yeah, I like that.
Who's actually fucking Lord Master King of the internet now, isn't he?
Yes, yes, true. Going back to the Runaways, yeah, I take it in reaction to the little sneaky peek getting leaked onto the internet. They released a logo. Because you love logos, Ross.
I've got a logo in my hand.
There was an Don't point your finger at that.
Literally have a logo in my
You
hand.
do. It's a bat symbol.
Put the batarang away.
I like to
And
play with it.
Aquaman, there's a logo for that released as well
Right.
this week.
This is not
Um,
news, is
Is
it?
that
No.
is that like a picture of a dolphin's head in a red
No,
a blue
it's-
circle? Is that
Apparently it's a thing, isn't it? You've got to release your logos.
Um,
Going back to Game of Thrones, though, Ross, this is for you. There are currently 4 Game of Thrones spin-offs
Oh,
being ordered from
what
HBO.
does that mean?
So there could be like...
Doesn't everyone die at the end?
We're talking about prequels, sequels, spin-offs.
All the bits in between.
Yeah, 4 fucking stories that they're going to do bits and bobs with. Whether
Are they
they
going to
are...
be better than Caprica was? Because Caprica was the most awful spin-off of, or prequel to Battlestar Galactica.
Well, you've still got, Krypton to come yet.
Surely
so.
Joey's the worst spin-off of all time. Is it
Ooh,
called
yeah,
Joey?
It is,
No, I'd say
Is it not?
Caprica is worse. Joey's bearable.
Spin-offs are bad. Cool, that's a topic in itself for another
Ooh,
day.
Yeah.
there's a Sheldon Cooper one coming though. I'm looking forward to that.
Chris, what have we told you about the Big Bang Theory? We do not talk about it on this podcast.
Yeah, we do. It's good.
It's not good.
We've almost finished
It's not
season 10.
funny, and you're wrong about
I'm never
everything.
wrong about anything. So Game of Thrones, the spin-offs that
Have they
are
told
being
us?
spoken about are... Oh no, actually these are theorised.
Oh, okay.
So Robert's Rebellion, The Dance of Dragons, The Targaryen Conquest, and The Long Night.
So are they going to be, basically, are these 4 spin-offs going to be giving the rest of the story that people I know that read the books have said has been missed out to give the main storyline?
It's going to be still outside of those because you're only given little bits of history and stuff in the books
That's
throughout.
the best bits in the
Right,
book as
okay.
well.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of world building, really good world building that goes on.
So they're going to do their own thing with small mentions of stuff from the book then? We know.
So, There's a
all
book...
the way through is still talking.
Right, there's a book that we mentioned last week called A World of Ice and Fire, which is written by J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah. Isn't that one of the Game of
Dave
Thrones books?
Peter Railroad Martin.
Wasn't it Railroad Rapist
That's
Martin?
3 R's. Railroad
Rapist Martin.
So yeah, he's got a book called The World of Ice and Fire that goes into all of this a hell of a lot more. And the only one that I really know much about from many of those is The Long Night, but that kind of seems pointless because if we know what we think we know about Game of Thrones is that it's all a big repeat of what happened in The Long Night, because The Long Night is the coming of
So
Azor
it's-
Ahai and
It
all that
repeats
shit.
like Star Wars
So
repeats.
it's just
Yeah.
Matrix Part 2, isn't it? But in a fantasy setting.
That's it.
That last scene from The Matrix where none of it makes sense. Here is some exposition that will make you go mentally unstable for 5 minutes and leave the theatre.
Moving on. Defenders. Not that one.
Of the Earth?
No.
Are we doing new? Are we on new news now? Because I don't know if we're on new.
This is old
because he
news.
keeps saying the same
I think we're
thing.
jumping back occasionally.
This
but-
is old news.
I keep getting flashbacks. Like he went Defenders, I went Of the Earth. Hang on, that was a week ago.
That was 2 weeks, no, 3-4 weeks ago now. That.
Because we missed it. The Defenders trailer was released last week.
it was.
With Danny Rand looking a bit rubbish.
Yeah, we enjoyed that, didn't we?
Yeah,
We did.
Daredevil season 3.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's all right. That is.
I think, like, the only thing I want to say again about that is if they can take the 2 weaker characters, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, who actually are two of my favourite Marvel characters, if they can take them and make their next series better because they've linked them together via Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and they're held up by Daredevil and Jessica Jones until they can make better series that are more fitting for their characters, I'm well up for it.
Make better things.
Yeah, just put more effort into Luke Cage and Iron Fist. If they only need to be 4 episodes long for their season 2, make it 4 episodes long.
So be it.
If it ends up being 12, make it 12. I'll happily watch 13 hours of Iron Fist punching ninjas, but you just need
it's
to make
got to be
sure...
well choreographed.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, what's the fucking point?
Yep.
So you put a mask on him. Hurry up and put a mask on him.
Yeah.
So that somebody who's bloody decent at martial arts
Can play him.
can stand him while Finn Jones has a cup of coffee or something.
And a bagel.
And a bagel. Twin Peaks. There's a teaser trailer for Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Either of you care?
I do.
No.
You don't care?
I
Okay.
do. I saw it. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's all the same actors, which I'm
Yeah.
quite surprised at, to be honest, because some of them are quite old.
I thought they were going to be remaking it. I didn't realise that it's a carry-on from...
No, it's continuation.
Yeah. I was quite surprised by
Well,
that. Looking forward to it.
When we last left Agent Cooper, he was... Oh, that's a spoiler. If anyone hasn't seen...
Yeah, don't say it. No,
if anyone hasn't seen Twin Peaks Season 1 and 2, go and watch them.
them. It's worth it, even now.
Because it ends on a nice cliffhanger.
What's that? Yeah.
I guess that maybe they're gonna kind of, because it doesn't look like whatever was going on in that cliffhanger is going on with the characters now, possibly. So, who
You
knows?
can't really tell from that teaser trailer.
Who knows where they're going to go? Could go anywhere.
Yeah.
But we know one thing, that going back to Twin Peaks. Dunkirk trailer, did you see it, Ross?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Annoyingly, now I know that it's a PG-13, 12A, and that it's a survival story and not a war movie. I saw that trailer with through a slightly different lens, and was like, oh yeah, maybe it's not going to be very good.
That's exactly what I said. If they make it a 12A and it's not going to be as brutal as it needs to be to tell that story properly, then it's just not going to be that interesting. They'll end up making it about some fictional character that's wandering around, surviving, blah, blah, maybe a love story, blah, blah, end.
Personally, I just don't think it looks like a very good movie, I've got to say. I mean, I'd hope so for Chris Nolan's sake, because I like him as a director. I know Ross doesn't really.
I'm sort of torn between wanting it to be really good and wanting him to just fail again.
I like two of his
Still never have made a good film.
I like two of his films.
I think I've liked them all. I think I'm a bit of a fanboy.
Inception?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's very good.
Oh, it's fucking horribly awful.
Yeah, but it's not badly put together.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's got a good storyline.
None of them are badly put together. They're all really competent movies, but there's just no soul in any of them.
No.
That's not true.
That is true.
It's not true.
There's just nothing in that. They're empty. They're vacuous.
To some people, they're going to be quite clever. To others, they're going to be kind of just a little different. Just something a bit, it's got a twist, but not a twist.
Yeah.
It's got a something. At least it's got something to keep you interested.
I still stand by the fact that he based it on a Donald Duck comic, and
Inception.
that's just insane. And Interstellar.
I've done the joke before. Inception with induction.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it again because I like that joke. Thank you very much.
Like Dark Knight was great, but it was a little bit too long. Batman Begins was great. Batman Begins was actually very good, but everything else he's done, I just find that I just don't connect with anything in it, or I've just seen it before in another film, and he's just basically used another film's idea.
I really like The Prestige.
That's the only film of his I haven't seen.
Oh, you got to watch it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
but don't know.
And I really like.
It's pretty good. I don't know.
I really
I've
like
heard good things about that though.
What's the backwards one?
Memento.
I will.
like that too.
Memento's very, very good. Memento's very clever.
I can't work out why they're talking about remaking that movie though. It's just, why did you want to remake that film?
Well, why did they remake Old Boy in American?
Dude, you're missing the point. I think with Old Boy, at least there will be people that won't have seen it because it's an Asian movie, because people just outright refuse to bloody watch subtitled films. At least with Memento, it's still an American film. And the one thing that it's got going for it is its quirk.
Yeah.
And
That's
people
the
know
only thing it's got going for it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, right. If you put the story into chronological order, it's shit. But like I say, the one thing that's got the one thing that it's got going for it is its quirk, and its quirk makes it a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
The first time you see it.
Yeah, once you've seen it once, it's not worth watching again.
It's not that old. It's 15 years.
20.
Still, it doesn't need refilming.
But it hasn't aged compared to a lot of other films. It was done very well at the time, and it is pretty good.
Anyway, I'm sure we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
We're wasting time. Let's crack on. Have we got any computer game news this week, Ross?
Oh! No, not really.
Nothing?
I do have some news, though. That's brilliant.
Go on, then.
Right, I stole this from another podcast. Well, I didn't really. I just heard about it on another podcast, and then I immediately stopped and listened to it all.
I've listened to I know what you're going to say.
The palette swap ninjas.
Yes.
The what?
Right, there's two guys. I annoyingly didn't have enough time to read up on them completely.
Right.
They have on the 40th anniversary of Star Wars and the 50th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Were they the same day?
No, they were within a week of each other,
right,
but
okay.
10 years apart.
Right.
have recorded,
Right.
re-recorded the whole of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, the album, but to be the story of Star Wars: A New Hope.
Right.
So they've rewritten all the lyrics.
Who's done this?
They rewrote they relearned. They re-recorded all the music as
They
well.
did from the ground up. They learnt how to play every single instrument so that they could record it all in a
Who are these
studio
people?
environment. They're called Palette Swap Ninja.
Palette Swap Ninja.
Yeah, as in like Mortal Kombat characters. A Palette Swap Ninja is, like Sub-Zero and Scorpio.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. Yeah.
So-
And Lizard.
And
is
Lizard.
the other
Yeah.
one.
And yeah, that's why they've got their name, Palette Swap Ninja.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, go on, Ross. Sorry.
But I think the easiest way to explain it is if we just listen to the first track.
Cool.
I hate the Beatles, though.
Just don't be a dick about this, alright?
Okay. Still hate the Beatles.
So they've done this all, it's all exactly the same as the album. All this chatter all appears at the beginning of the album as well. I wonder if Apple are going to steal the rights to our show.
Should probably not
It's not
cause
Apple.
a strike.
It was many years ago today, in a galaxy so far away. It's a period of civil war. They don't want the Empire anymore. The rebels made a daring move. They got some data in their hands. Princess Leia stole a Death Star plans.
That's clever.
It's fucking awful.
I got to admit, I got to the end of that second song, and then it just got a bit too much, and I had to stop.
No,
But I'm going to go back to it.
I don't know if that's just, like you say, it's YouTube and it's compressed, but the quality is awful of the sound.
Yeah, it's just it sounds really good when I listen to it on SoundCloud, but
Right,
they've
okay.
got uncompressed
And
FLAC files of it as
I've
well.
got funk versions of the John Williams score, and I've got like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon reggae style and things like that, which are all great fun, but they're novelty. And
That's different, though.
no, it's not. That's still novelty.
I think
These people have done what those people did of learning all the instruments and playing through the album, but
that's the opposite.
no.
It is, because you don't the Pink Floyd Dub Side of the Moon isn't. It's a homage to the original album, but it's still all the same lyrics and everything. It's
Yeah.
just played in a completely different style, and it reinvents the songs. Whereas that is using the songs,
That's getting
as a
two
homage
completely
to-
different things
yeah.
and just welding them together.
using the music as a homage to the film. So
Yeah, I don't know. I just
where they've
don't
changed all the
think it's
lyrics
that
and
great.
you're expected to listen to the lyrics because that's the point.
Yeah, I just,
Half the point.
I
The other
don't
half
like-
The last
the problem for me is I don't like the Beatles music enough to be able to sit there and listen to the lyrics for long enough to enjoy the quirky novelty of what they've done.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's not a very long album. It's like 45 minutes.
It's
and
really
I
short,
listened
yeah.
to it the other day.
45 minutes I don't have.
And bollocks, Adam, you get buses everywhere, so you've got plenty of time to listen to
Yeah, but
things in
not
headphones.
to that.
No.
Like, I couldn't listen to that album in my ears and pay attention. The music annoys me, so I wouldn't be able to take in the lyrics of what they've written. It's a clever idea, but
Something interesting though when you get to songs like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I think is on that album, isn't it? If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
That's right.
So when the Beatles recorded it, they didn't even play it all live in the studio. They did, but they played parts of it and recorded it. If you think about how they would have done this back in the time, they recorded it and then decided in actual fact they were going to use that for a different song, and they sped it up and changed the pitch and kind of, what do you call that when you cut it into spliced? They spliced it into the rest of the song using, how the hell you would do that back
scissors
in the
and
60s.
scissors and sellotape.
No.
Surely, if it was,
You would have had to have been
musical tape-
recording onto another tape
Yeah, they've just
at a
bounced-
different speed and then recording it back again.
Oh right,
and
yeah.
stuff.
So they changed the speed as well.
They changed the speed of
okay,
it,
sorry.
the pitch of it. Yeah,
But they were doing things like they were recording this is going way off topic, but the Beatles, like, if you've ever seen, like,
They were recording in toilets to get the right echo and things like
McCartney
that.
does this thing where he goes to Abbey Road and gets all the old kit out. I'm assuming it's not old. They just probably still record on old analog kit at Abbey Road. And he was showing them what they were doing, and they would just record like all 4 tracks of something, like 4 different versions of the same instrument, and then just bounce it down onto one track, and they would just keep doing that, and they didn't have like 32 track recording those days. They just layer in.
This is the thing. I understand how amazing some of the stuff a lot of bands, especially the Beatles, did back then with recording, and how they affected the music industry and pop culture and a lot of other things. I just don't like it. It doesn't. If anything, it makes me feel uncomfortable listening to it because I don't like the sound of it.
Their bands of their time are probably responsible for us having the type of effects and things that we have on our equipment as well these days. Because, like, what we would completely take a echo effect, for instance.
They did it in a toilet, didn't they? They set
I don't mean reverb. I mean, what do you call it when like an echo, a repeat? What do you call that?
Oh, like a delay.
A delay
or a phasing. Yeah.
So.
The one person in this room who doesn't play an instrument knows what a delay pedal is.
So the delay effect on their old archaic piece of equipment would record it and play it back really, really quickly at a lower volume.
Oh, okay.
That's ridiculous. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Really bizarre. So yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to say about that album, it's worth sticking with it just for the last track. Day in the Life's really good.
Okay, I love that song. Day in the Life is one of my favourite all-time Beatles songs. So I shall go back to it.
I will recommend it to people I know that like the Beatles, but I won't be listening to it myself.
And or Star Wars.
Yeah.
I can't wait for them to do the Rolling Stones album that is also Ghostbusters.
I won't be listening to that either.
Have you got any more? Have you got any computer game news at all, Ross, or anything?
I've got nothing really. I've been living in a bit of a bubble this week.
I had a go at what was the new game? There's a new PS4 game that came out a little while ago.
Horizon Zero Dawn?
That's the one.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a go on it. I only got like 20 minutes on it. And in that time, I died twice and then managed to catch a dinosaur that was a robot. But the way it works and the style was really good. I really enjoyed the mechanics. I really enjoyed the way they've kind of visualised and taken what I had heard about and actually did quite a good job of the physical appearance of the robots. But yeah, the mechanics are great. I like it.
That was ridiculous. I just had to hammer with my fist a plug socket into the wall.
I was about to reach into the cupboard and actually give you a hammer, but he seems to have got it in there.
If you hear what sounds like a woodpecker or somebody wanking, it's both. Or it's
Chris on
these
one
dodgy
side,
plug
Ross on the other.
sockets in our podcasting studio.
All the plug sockets are nice and tight round here.
Yeah. Sorry, Adam.
No, that's all right. I was watching you while trying to say what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah, I was capturing the robot dinosaurs. They're better. Hang on, I've just realised Horizon Zero Dawn is better than all of the Transformers movies put together.
Yeah.
Especially the last one. Fuck you, Michael Bay. We haven't said that for a few weeks.
We said it earlier on this evening.
It's pretty as well, isn't it?
Yeah, like I say, they've visualised an entire world and visualised these creatures that I'd heard about and sort of saw little snippets in the trailer ages ago, and yeah, it's beautiful.
The story's great.
I didn't get to experience that properly, but because I was only playing it for 20 minutes. But what I played, like mechanics and vision, was beautiful.
What's so encouraging about that game is it's a new game and a new franchise from a studio that hasn't predominantly. I don't think they've ever made a third-person game, and what's good is it feels like it's not the first one they've done.
Oh, okay.
It's that polished. You must have noticed it just playing it. It just
felt
like
it feels like they must have made at least like other games in that style before. I didn't realise it was their first third person.
You know
game.
how good?
Who is it?
Gorilla, who made Killzone.
Yeah.
You know how Uncharted 2 is just so much better than the first Uncharted. Yeah. Like, you expect that jump, and it's like Assassin's Creed 2 is so much better than Assassin's Creed. So always the second one's where the bar gets raised. But Horizon's just is out the gate is practically perfect.
Rad. I'll have to play some more.
I want to play it. Right, some more game news. I've got some for you. PlayStation 5 by next year. We mentioned that last week, Ross. Is a possibility.
How?
We'll see. But Project Scorpio by Christmas.
Yeah, that's...
What's Project
that's-
Scorpio?
The next Xbox, Microsoft project.
Okay.
But it's only like a point increase, isn't it? It's like an interim.
Right.
Is it
It's
like
going to
a
be 100... It's like the...
PlayStation
it's like,
Pro or whatever they
but
called it?
better.
Right,
It's more
okay.
powerful. Because obviously
Yeah.
it's just always going to happen. Like, if you're going to bring yours out late, if you're going to bring your... If they're going to do that thing where they're just going to upgrade each other all the time, then obviously Scorpio... It's going to be like the way you upgrade your iPhones, isn't it?
It's getting to the point where they might as well just be making PCs.
Like, they both made the iPhone 6. Microsoft, PlayStation brought out the 6S, so Microsoft have basically gone to the iPhone 7, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then but that probably gives Sony the... I still don't get why they'd bring it out. If they start getting hammered by sales of the Scorpio, then they'll release the PlayStation 5. But I don't think they're going to be in a position to... They don't need to release
And
the
if
PlayStation
they release
5.
the PlayStation 5, then that means the next actual Xbox is going to be well ahead. And they'll have time to release it a few years later, and it'll outblast the PlayStation 5. So I don't know why they keep competing with each other so much. Because most people stick with one console, don't they?
Sure.
They follow. Like I had PS1, PS2, PS3.
That depends on your shelf titles, though, doesn't it? Surely.
Yeah, but for me, the first-party titles on the PlayStation have always been more interesting to me than Gears of War and stuff like that on the Xbox. And
Would you be
Halo.
interested in a Gears of War movie by any chance?
No.
Well, that's been spoken about.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be done by, though?
I don't know. No idea.
Same guy that did Doom, or...
Oh, actually, there were some details of that. I could look it up while you're talking.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I haven't even got a PS4 yet, because I can't justify the cost. So, do I then wait and get a PS5, or do I go, no, they're rushing it out, it's going to be awful?
Why don't you just be a little bit behind all the time? Because actually, probably by Christmas would be... now's a really good... There's more games than you're ever going to play on the PS4.
But the problem is with the PS4, and the problem I have with modern gaming in general is, by being a bit behind, by the time I get a game, because everything's fucking online multiplayer, by the time I get a console and get a game that I want to play online, no one's going to be playing it.
There's enough really good single-player content out there.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong
to be
with
honest,
that
like
stuff,
Horizon, between Uncharted, Bloodborne, and Horizon, that's three single-player reasons to buy a PS4.
Yeah, because I've played No Man's Sky as well, and I really like that for what it is. But, like, if I get a PS4, there's certain online multiplayer games that I do want to play, but by the time I can afford a PS4 and I get one, everyone's going to stop playing them because the next one will be out, or the next big game will be out. Because that's what happens with all online gaming now. People play it for a while, and then a new one comes out, and you only get a handful of people still playing it, and they're all...
Well, that'll
rubbish.
happen. Like, we're all playing Battlefield at the moment, and that'll probably flip to Battlefront or Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm mentioning Call of Duty is because it's World War II. If it wasn't World War II, it wouldn't be getting mentioned.
But then those come out, you'll play those for 6 months to a year, and then another one will come out, and then everyone will flip to that one.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money through what I do to be able to just buy the latest version of whatever everyone else is playing all the time. That's why I never bought FIFA after FIFA 12.
Has anyone mentioned
no point.
backward compatibility yet?
For...
This is where, in my opinion, where they keep fucking up. Why?
Oh, yeah,
If you want to sell a new console, you've got to make all the existing games available.
I think
surely.
that is probably... Right, what's happened with the last lot of consoles, they've both changed to x86, which is PC-based architecture.
Right.
So they're much easier to develop for, much easier to manufacture, keeps costs down. Developers love it, but what that'll also do is I think going forward, we're likely to see them 100% compatible,
right?
Because you haven't got the custom chips in them.
Uh-huh.
Like, I think
my PS3 plays PS2 games. Like, I've got a backwards compatible one.
But
yeah,
you're
It's fine.
But that chip that's in yours, they took out after that.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
You've just
No, I know
you've got
that,
60 gig original.
Yeah.
You're lucky it's still working, mate.
Yeah, I know. I've also got a slimline as well because I don't want to burn it out, so I use that for the PS2 games.
Because the weird thing is, I really enjoy collecting games because they don't take up a lot of space. I fucking hate having hardware kicking about.
Yeah.
I unboxed all my consoles the other day.
If they bring out a PS5 and
put
I
'em-
can buy a PS5 for 300 quid and it's going to play any PS4 game that's been out and any PS3 game and any PS2 game.
They're already.
I can then
it's
get
already
rid of
too
all-
late for that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, because the
Really?
Yeah.
because the architecture on the PS3 is so difficult. It would have to be emulated, and I don't think they're emulating PS2 games.
Yeah,
PS2
yeah.
games are on PS4 now.
Yeah.
Like you can buy them in the store
Yeah.
on the PlayStation store. You can't put a disc in, but you
But
can buy
that's the
them,
thing. I
like-
don't want to have
right.
to buy my collection again to be able to emulate
Yeah,
it
but
on
then you
another
just keep your old console, don't you?
Well, yeah, I have, but it's just frustrating because, like you say, I don't want all this hardware kicking around. I don't want to have to get my PS2 out every time I want to play any of my PS2 games. It'd be nice to be able to just put the discs in a PS5 and the PS5 be clever enough to be able to emulate whatever it needs to when you put the disc in.
What's good sometimes is when they remaster a game.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
the Crash Bandicoot that's coming out this year.
Yeah, it
is
looks
the
good,
first
doesn't it?
3, and it's a ground up remake.
Oh, okay, so it's not
And
just
it
they've
looks-
gone,
it looks
let's
so
make
brilliant.
it
Not like
have
The
a
Last
few
of Us.
polygons.
Then,
No, The Last of Us. But then even that, The Last of Us is
Yeah.
just so good on
that's
PS4.
it's
It's
just
just
gone straight into
beautiful.
the top 10, isn't it? I don't know if you noticed. Top 10 games. It's for this month.
Wow.
Sorry,
It's,
what was that?
The Last of Us, the PS4 version.
Hey, it's really old now though.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well, it's just gone back
oh,
up.
okay. Well, it's in the top 10 again.
really.
Yeah.
because it's cheap on the store or something.
Maybe.
Yeah,
It's a great game though. I played it on the PS3 and then played it again on my mates on the PS4, and there is an obvious difference, like in how it looks and how it plays. You know, it's only small, but it's enough that it's obvious.
Right.
Whereas some of the other HD,
I want to go back and
remakes-
see those giraffes
Mm.
again. I want to see how they look.
Yeah.
weirdly, my girlfriend likes playing third-person action games, and I'm quite happy to sit there and sort of placate her playing them.
Yeah.
Right.
And she played through all the Uncharted and Uncharted 4 and the new Tomb Raiders and loves them all.
Right, cool.
Can't get her to play The Last of Us.
Really?
It's ridiculous.
But it's
Wow.
pretty much it's the same people,
Yeah,
isn't it?
but it's the combat's harder because you're all crafting and stuff like that. She just gets a bit doesn't want that.
Yeah, wants it simple and
But
enjoyable.
it's so good. Like
Yeah,
the
it
first
is.
20 minutes of that game is
It's
enough to
halfway.
make-
It's halfway between Grand Theft Auto's level of RPG and a proper RPG for me. Last of Us. It's halfway between that. It's third person. It's fun. It's action adventure, and there's elements of RPG.
Yep.
You've got to craft stuff. You've got to upgrade your weapons, but you're not so far into the RPG where it's lists of bullshit that you've got to go and sift through all the time.
We're kind of banging on about this, so I reckon, as far as our podcast is concerned, we recommend that everybody plays Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's bloody good. Gears of War, the movie is being written by...
Go on.
Oh, shit. I've just
Pregnant
lost his name.
pause.
Shane Shalino.
Never heard of
Shalino.
it.
It sounds like a character from...
I thought you were going to say, what's his name that did all the other computer game movies that failed?
sounds like a name from Rick and Morty, I thought. Shane Shalino. Shalino.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Anyway, no, he's the guy that wrote Armageddon and something called Savages. And
That's actually quite good, Savages. If it's
he's
what I think
writing
it is.
Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5.
2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, we've
What?
covered this. Yeah,
I didn't
Oh,
know
you
that. I
weren't
knew
here.
they were doing another 1 or 2. I didn't realise they were doing up to
they're
5.
filming 4 movies back to back.
Jesus Christ!
I say they. James Cameron is putting his cast through hell. And
So
having
he's
them film
he's
4
basically
movies
doing
back to back.
And one of those, the main actress in that is also in Guardians of the Galaxy, who are filming.
Going to be filming Infinity War.
Yeah.
So that's almost, it's going to be wrapped up. And in honesty, they aren't releasing the first one. Oh, when is it? 2020? No.
Oh, okay, so it's quite a while off.
2019.
So James Cameron's doing what Stephen King and Ridley Scott are doing then, and just pushing out as much as he can now.
Maybe. Anyway, look, that's movies again. We're
Yeah.
on computer games.
Sorry.
Rogue Trooper. Did you play that game?
I did. Amazing game.
They're doing a remastered version of that. I don't know.
I know. I was chatting to some of the people at the 2000 AD conference who were talking about it.
It looks quite lovely. There's some trailers
Yes.
kicking around. I shall tag one below. What about Marvel vs. Capcom?
Well, I'm also
Infinite?
looking forward to the other 2000 AD properties that people from outside companies have gone to 2000 AD about and gone, we'd like to do this.
There was talk of a Judge Dredd Grand Theft Auto style.
Yeah,
wasn't
they said that's not going to happen
really?
unless someone comes to them, because they've got small...
Because it's $150 million game, that.
Well,
the problem is, like, also Rebellion is a small team and they're doing so much with Sniper Elite. They are happy for other people to come to them with ideas that are doable by an outside team under the supervision of someone. So,
Sniper Elite's really good, by the way.
Yeah,
It
very,
was really
very good.
cheap on the PlayStation Store the other week. The
Yeah.
third one, and me and my brother have been playing.
They're amazing.
Right.
But yeah, if those other companies, the smaller ones, can come and get their ideas taken on by 2000 AD, I'm all for it. So we'll see what happens.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
I played one or two of those. They were great fun.
Have you seen the trailer
No.
for this one? It looks very nice.
Is it...
I didn't know they'd done a third one.
Really? Oh, right.
Is there a third one?
Yeah.
Marvel vs.
Capcom 3. Yeah.
I can't remember which one I played. I think I've still got, possibly. I found a Tekken X Street Fighter Fighter X Tekken
Yeah.
in my drawer downstairs the other day, and I thought, have I played that? I don't know if I have.
Because that's the one that's Tekken characters done in the Street
In a
Fighter
Street
style
Fighter
art.
And,
And they were going to do
I
the other
chucked
way
it in.
round and didn't.
I chucked it
but
into
yeah.
the Xbox and realised that I had played it, and perhaps I'd blocked it out of my memory.
Weird.
It's not that great.
So,
It's okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom is Infinite. Is this going to be...
It looks like much of the same. But
Same
the
style.
graphics, though, they look lush.
Is it more
Right.
like Tekken X Street Fighter style
No,
graphics?
it's
or
not.
more
It's
Marvel?
not cartoony like that. It's more.
Oh, okay.
It looks very swish.
Oh,
Very,
I'll have to have
very
a look
slick
at that.
indeed. I shall leave trailers tagged below.
Excellent.
Mario Kart Deluxe number 8.
Haven't played Mario Kart in years.
I've not, but
Not
apparently this
properly.
one's very good. It's gone straight to number 1 in just about every country in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, considering they apparently haven't sold a lot of what's the
Switches.
console? Nintendo
Yeah.
Switches. Then that's quite impressive,
Yeah.
to be fair. But then again, they are saying that the Switch is just about to reach about the same levels. What do you call that? Parity? It's just about to hit the same amount of sales as the Wii. I don't know if that's as the Wii did at this stage in the sales process.
I think it
or
must be. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Wii sold like 125 million units or something. It's like
Right.
the second or third highest selling console of all time ever, isn't it?
Okay.
Behind PlayStation 2 and maybe... I think that's it. Maybe...
Yeah, PS2's like the highest selling console in its lifetime of any, isn't it?
Yeah, like 200 million or like 155 million something.
Yeah, because they kept it going for like, what, 11 years? 10 years? Something ridiculous.
Yeah, so the best selling console of all time is a PlayStation 2 with 155 million units, followed by the Nintendo DS on 154, then the Game Boy / Game Boy Color on 118.
They put them in together, did they?
Yeah, because they're the same architecture. The
Yeah.
games
right,
run
okay.
on. Yeah, PlayStation, the original PlayStation, 102, and the Wii then the Wii comes in at 101, which is frankly ridiculous.
So did the Game Boy Color, going back to that then, so that took, you could play all the old original Game Boy games on it, could you?
Yeah, on the Game
Yeah.
Boy Color.
And
Yeah.
it took the shades of grey or green and turned them into colours, did it? So they were all different. So it would colorise your
think-
old games?
It
No,
would
I don't
colorize
think so, would it?
them in. You could give it a palette,
Right,
but you couldn't. It wasn't clever enough that it would color a game.
right, okay.
So you
But what
could
was
like change the colour, so to speak.
What was really good is like certain games got re-released as a color. Oh yeah, see, there's another good example of re-releasing. They did a Game Boy Color version of the Legend of Zelda game that came out on the Game Boy, which is not A Link to the Past. It is
Ocarina of...
No, it's another. It doesn't matter. It's the one on the island with the giant egg.
Yeah.
It's yeah, but they did there's a colour version of that, and that's like obviously the best version of it, and it's got an extra dungeon in it that uses the colour. Like the feature of that dungeon is you have to be able to see the colours,
Okay.
which is clever game design.
Yeah.
They've always been quite clever with Zelda, haven't they? They've always utilised everything really well.
They make the best games in the world.
Yeah.
It's just they make 3 a year, and they make you play it on their hardware.
Yep.
And it's just as somebody with expendable income, it's just really frustrating.
Fair enough.
I'll say it every week.
Fair enough. Tekken 7 producer is pushing for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One crossplay.
Yeah, I just don't think the companies are ever going to agree on that.
Well, yeah, it's the game developer that's
If they can find a
trying to
way
push
of,
for it.
if they can find a way of getting the companies to agree to it, then you'll get Xbox fanboys versus PlayStation fanboys, and then
but-
all the other Tekken enjoyers will probably get annoyed with it because there'll just be foul language all the time.
PC gamers will be left out of that, though.
Can you get Tekken on PC?
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh, right.
But
know
yeah,
that.
so they are the producer is pushing for PlayStation 4 and Xbox crossplay, but is not going to extend the push towards PC because of politics and nothing to do with tech specs. So just because people that play on PC gamers are a bit snooty and a bit,
Oh yeah, I said this last week, but
don't
we
wanna
lost it. Yeah, PC gamers just stop being knobheads.
Yeah. It's okay. They're only consoles, man. Just let them play.
Just
Let them play.
play all games and treat all games equal.
To be honest, there's certain games I've played on PC that involve mouse and keyboards, like first-person games, and I'm rubbish on a PC with those games. You give me a controller, and I will kick your ass all day long. Same as fighting games. You put me on a PC using keyboard and mouse to try and play a fighting game.
Well, yeah,
but you can
dude,
just put a pad on it, can't you?
Well, yeah. But like most of the people I know who play first-person shooters on a PC will use mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
I plug in a controller on a console and play the same first-person shooter console version, and I'm far better. If
Yeah.
I go keyboard and mouse,
Well,
it's
gaming-
just rubbish.
Gaming pads are designed to be like.
But you'd get absolutely hammered by people playing with keyboard and mouse.
Yeah,
You
probably.
can't be good enough on a controller on a PC game that you'll be competitive at.
Oh no. But
But-
it just makes sense to me using a controller. Like if the controller is integrated in the PC well enough, then mate's got one of these controllers where you can adjust things and take different parts out and add in different clickers and stuff, so you can move the buttons to fit your hand shape really well. You can adjust every speed click and every movement in the controller. If I get a chance to have a go on some of those games using that controller, I reckon with the way he's fiddled with it to make it work well, that'll be just as good as keyboard and mouse on the PC version of the game.
So there you go.
Mm.
I've never actually gamed on a PC. I can't comment. I don't think.
There's
But,
certain games on PC. There's certain games you can only get on PC, and there's a particular type of games that are better. That it's just some game. Right, there's two types of games. There's sit forward games. There's sit back games. Right, and sit forward and upright games are things like The Sims and real time strategy games.
Yeah.
And like Civilization and stuff like that, and like clicky role playing games.
Did you say sit forward and upright?
Yeah, sort of sit up at a desk, sit forward,
Right.
and then you got slouching on the sofa games.
Right. Okay. So yeah. All right. So have we caught up on everything enough? Do you think? Is that?
You didn't send us any show notes this week either.
No, I didn't.
Like Chris, for us, anyone who doesn't know, Chris fell off the internet today, the whole day.
I did.
It's a bit weird.
I've had a busy weekend.
He fell off the internet
Putting
for the last
together-
3 days, I
I've been
think.
putting together a nursery and just generally doing stuff related to that over the weekend, and I've been on catch up a little bit.
Still thinks he's
Dad
going to record a
duties.
podcast.
Yeah, dad duties. Yeah, be
Dad
fine.
joke duties.
Right. Should we have some real world news and wrap this shit up?
Yeah, why not?
So, Ross, one for
Have
you.
they burnt the NHS down like that scene in Batman yet?
Not yet. We're working on it. But slugs. That's nice, and that's a nice light topic for conversation, isn't it? Because you like slugs, don't you, Ross?
I hate slugs.
I know you do.
I like a bit of gardening.
How do you feel about super beer-loving slugs from Spain that are
Not on my land.
they can eat 10 fucking slug pellets and still survive, mate.
I will put 20 slug pellets down and salt.
And salt.
Sod it. Get a
No.
jam jar, bury it in the ground, fill it with beer, put a shot of vodka in. Even if they go in that and they like beer, they ain't going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might do. They're super slugs.
Yeah, but if
They're
you got
Spanish
a
super slugs.
bit of vodka as well as the beer, they're just going to go in there and that's that.
You'll be alright anyway, because we live on the Isle of Wight. Which means no grey squirrels, probably no super slugs, and definitely no triffids.
Get chickens. Anyone who's got vegetables growing in their garden,
yeah.
get chickens
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Byproduct, eggs. Fresh eggs.
They'll also eat any dead rats or mice or anything that dies in your garden. Chickens will eat it. They're
Cool.
brutal little bastards.
They're basically dinosaurs, aren't
They are.
they?
They're like tiny velociraptors. They're beautiful things.
I'd quite like some chickens, but it's not going to happen anytime
Just
soon.
don't go in your garden, as I found out, with a red mohawk, because your
You'll get-
cockerel
you'll get
will
mounted.
fuck you up. My cockerel managed to get his spurs into the back of my foot, either side of my Achilles tendon, and infect my leg.
And he bit his dick off as well. But he doesn't tell anyone about
Hang on,
that.
hang on. Adam bit the cockerel's dick off?
Yep, I
Hang
did
on.
indeed.
Right. Facebook, scarily enough, are investing in thought predictive text. And at the same time, Elon Musk from Tesla, the guy that's building rockets that you can relaunch within 2
Tony
weeks
Stark,
of each
the
other.
real living Tony
Real
Stark.
life Tony Stark, who apparently is not an alien from the future.
And agrees with Stephen Hawkins that robots are scary.
Yeah, he is going to be launching a Neuralink tech. So that's something you can plug into your brain and interact with bloody technology within 4 years.
Well, there was a guy at Reading, I think it's Reading University. There's a guy that's got a chip in his forehead. So as he walks towards the Reading University, the doors open for him. And when he gets to his lab, because he's walked through the front doors with that chip in, the lab is automatically unlocked for him.
Isn't it just an RFID chip?
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Surely
But
not like
no.
what
But that's
Is it
how it
just not in his
started.
ID badge?
That's how it started. And then he's got these things on his arm, and he can put. I was reading about it a little while ago. It's quite interesting. There was an interview of him. He's got this thing that he can clip onto his arm. He's got these 4 things in his skin. And when he puts the thing on his arm, it gives him his heart rate and all the other stuff to do with his sugar levels and everything just through this thing he's put on his arm. And then he was saying about this project he was working on with possibly his wife or a colleague, where there's something they're going to put in the back of their necks that they can attach a cable to between the two of them and a box in the middle, so they can feel each other's emotions, like feel each other's chemical balance so they can kind of feel how the other person's feeling without speaking. Whether or not they'll understand exactly
Be
what
great
the
for
person's-
psychopaths, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
No
but
more
like,
psychopaths, basically.
Although this guy, I can't think of the guy's name, the
Although-
scientist, like,
Just because you know how somebody
Interesting.
else is feeling, you don't have to react to it. So perhaps not.
Like,
yeah.
I love technology. Like, if you see my house, it's full of it. My job involves it quite a lot. Every time I hear a story like this, I'm like one step closer from that cabin in the woods, mate. One day I'm just going to go, fuck it. When they go, right, the only way you're going to be able to go on the internet is when we put this thing in your mind. I'm just, fuck it, I don't need it anymore. I'm just going to go and look at like the mountains and eat wild
Yeah.
turkeys.
Learn
But
to play
then-
the bongo.
But then there is that.
I know I'm not going to turn into one of those knobheads. I still wash my hair and stuff.
And bongo.
Fucking learn to... What did you do today? I learned to juggle. No, I didn't. I learned to cut a tree down.
But then there's also the
Poi.
that group
Poi.
of that group of Buddhists.
Quite useful, at least it used to be. Oh, sorry.
Group of Buddhists that they've got a very different way. They still believe in all the Buddhist stuff of reincarnation and peace and stuff. But
Yeah, but they've all got like MacBook Airs. Is
well,
these the
no.
ones you
There's
talk about.
this particular group that feel that technology is naturally going to integrate into our bodies.
Yeah.
Like, we're already doing it to a certain degree with like pacemakers and things like that. But they've got this thing of like, well, you know,
Pretty
we'll,
sure Elon
we'll-
Musk agrees with them.
we'll go across the internet and do our little like what do you call it, like meditation with each other through the internet. That's fine. Why not? You know, it's not bad to have technology. Like, it's just using it in the right way. And they've kind of got this whole thing about maybe like eventually it will become part of us, rather than it being an AI taking over. It will be that we merge. Because as humans, like, how much further can we really evolve?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Christian nutcases on Twitter who go on Twitter and shout about and have a go at science while using science.
That's a little bit different, isn't it?
But it's no, it's the same. But it's the same thing though. They're like, yeah, science is bad. Get rid of science. You're literally using everything you just did. Then involved science. So much science. You just have no idea how much science happened there. No, it's the Lord Jesus. He made the internet
on Easter morning.
I should have called it Jehovah Net.
Chris, end the podcast, mate.
Oh dear. Is that it? Should we get out of here?
Yeah.
Where can we find you online, Adam?
Same place as always, Adam Gatchell Arts on Facebook and the YouTubes.
Ross?
Just follow us on the SNEW With The Crew Instagram page that I've started. I've taken 2 photos of so far.
Wow.
Both tonight.
Cool. Did you get the mess on my floor?
No, I just got a mess of leads, really.
Okay.
I'll probably take a few pictures of damp later on at some point, and can't work out if I'm ill. I can't work out if the damp's got down my throat or hay fever started.
It's probably just the damp. Don't worry about it.
I'm just dying.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And me, where can they find me?
How did your the voice thing go?
Oh yeah, it went very well. We auditioned about 40 people, and generally the quality was pretty top notch. And I think the guys that came over were very, very impressed. So
considering we don't have any venues on the Isle of Wight, there's quite a lot of talented musicians about.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
They just don't have anything to do.
There are a lot of people. If you're out there and you're listening to this, then just fucking get out of your bedroom, go and play some music in public. You can do it at an open mic night in Cowes every week, every Thursday night, which I run. You're quite welcome. Come along and have a go. And you can obviously find the SNEW With The Crew Facebook page on Facebook, and my page, which is Chris Quinton's Music and Things. So yeah, go find out. Oh, and of course, I've got a little mini podcast running for American Gods each week as we progress through the season. So perhaps have a listen to that as well, if you will.
Woo!
That's on all the usual places that this podcast is. So that's iTunes, Stitcher.
Who do you tell the dad jokes to? Do you record this podcast looking into that mirror over there?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
You go, ha ha. And then they were in America and there was a god. Ha ha.
There's a little beard sketched onto the mirror there for a reason.
So it's like a little dark. Like the what's in Community when Abed draws the
evil Abed.
He's an evil Abed.
Evil Chris. Yeah, where else can we find the podcast?
I just have to say those timeline episodes are incredible.
Of what?
In Community.
Community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen them.
Towards the end of end of season 2. No, they do the episode where they throw the dice up in the air and there's 6 different stories.
No, I don't think I've seen that episode.
Good.
Right. It's a real throwaway thing, and then there's one really bad timeline in that. That really bad timeline spins off into the evil timeline, and then the people come from the evil timeline.
It's basically almost like a mirror world from Star Trek.
Yeah, like that Star Trek mirror world.
Like everyone's got beards and stuff if they're evil.
Not like a mirror world from Mighty Boosh.
No.
There are 7 mirrors in the mirror world.
I'm turning my back on you now.
So yes, where else can we find the podcast, Ross?
Oh, it's on iTunes, please.
Stitcher,
SoundClouds. It's on the podcast app on your phone. Fire it up, little purple thing. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review. Haven't checked the reviews this week, but then we haven't put a podcast out, so they probably haven't changed.
We're on catch up a little bit this week, so we'll be back with more of a kind of a topic centric kind of podcast next week, and we'll see you all then. Have a good week. Goodbye, folks.
Sorry, you shitters.
Bye.
Goodbye. Brian Blessed is a Hawkman.